In 1973, the government introduced the Water Act, which created 10 water authorities that were later privatised. They took over from the local authorities and water boards, and their role was to plan and control all users of water in each river catchment area. Severn Trent Water Authority was beginning to make the most of this new consolidation when the infamous drought of 1976 brought chaos. River levels in the region fell to their lowest on record, and hosepipe bans were in force. Consumers managed to cut consumption by up to a quarter. Then, a series of storms ended the drought. Unfortunately, by February 1977, the heavy rains had also caused the worst flooding for 20 years in both the rivers Severn and Trent catchment areas. By September 1981, work had started on Carsington Water to provide water for some 3 million people in the East Midlands. Whilst in 1982, meter options were made available to domestic customers for the first time. Throughout the 1980s, there was a growing realisation that even greater reinvestment was needed to raise levels of service and quality across the whole water industry, since central government didn't have enough money available. Privatisation was seen as the best way of generating enough income to pay for essential overhauls, as well as improvements to comply with demanding European legislation. Severn Trent plc was floated on the stock exchange in December 1989, and the newly created Severn Trent Water set about using its increased access to funds to begin a drastic programme of investment, with some £5 billion ploughed into the business over the next 10 years. With the need to increase funds, the PLC looked to diversify its assets outside the regulated business and built a portfolio of companies who embodied the environmental leadership status. Following a review of the water and wastewater businesses, the Severn Trent plc board announced in April 2006 the demerger of Biffa Waste. With the focus now being on water, the company also sold Severn Trent Property and US Laboratories in 2006. In July 2007, floods hit Gloucestershire and Worcestershire. The whole incident was unprecedented. The scale of the operation went far beyond our previous experience, or indeed that of any other water company. For 17 days, Mythe Water Treatment Works was out of action. During this time, 2,000 employees and contractors worked round the clock on the incident. We purchased over 50 million litres of bottled water, deployed over 1,400 water bowsers, along with over 100 tankers to refill them. We recognised that many communities in Gloucestershire and Worcestershire suffered significantly during this time, so we made available up to £3.5 million to support those communities in recovering from this incident.